Hi, I'm Nicole Shaw. I'm a scientist at Ag Research. I specialise in researching earthworms and the wider soil health. Earthworms are really fascinating but also really important for our soil systems. Today I'm going to talk to you a little bit about the Great Kiwi Earthworm Survey so that you too can get out and have a look to see what's living in your soil. So I brought some earthworms with me today, and you'll see that there's differences in their size and colour. So first of all, we've got this big earthworm. Really important, this deep burrowing earthworm for feeding on the organic matter on that soil surface, so be that dung, compost, plant litter, it takes that down into the soil, and it can also burrow down up to 1 metre into the soil, so it can help improve that water and air movement into the soil. And as you can see by its size, it's quite big, so it makes nice big burrows. It's not our most common earthworm that we find in New Zealand. It's actually the least common one. The more common types of earthworms that we have across our pastures and across our gardens are these dung earthworm and the topsoil earthworm. So the dung earthworm, again, it's quite dark in colour compared to the deep burrowing earthworm, but it doesn't burrow as deep into the soil. It's also feeding on that organic matter on the surface, so the dung, the plant litter, the compost, and taking that into the soil. Last but not least is the topsoil earthworm. So this is actually the most common worm that we'll find in our soils. It sort of burrows very extensively through that top layer of the soil, so the top 10-15 centimetres. These are examples of the most common types of earthworms that we have in New Zealand, but we have a huge diversity of species living within our soils. There's about 200 species of earthworms identified in New Zealand, and there's probably actually more that haven't been identified that we don't know about. Our native species are also really interesting and quite diverse. They sort of range in size from 2 centimetres up to over 1 metre. So that gives you a little bit of an idea of the different types of worms and what to look for. What we're going to do now is we're going to go and show you how to do your own survey of earthworms. These are the things that will be helpful as a tarp to spread your soil out onto. Once you've sorted the earthworms, pop them into a container of water. Take them out of the container of water onto your tissue paper, and then you can do your identification using the guide and the ruler, and then the data sheet to record your information. Obviously the most important thing is your spade so you can dig your hole. So this is what we're trying to do, is we're trying to get a 20 by 20 centimetre spade square, so the spade's 20 centimetres all the way around, about 20 centimetres deep. That's where we'll find most of the worms living. So we're going to sort through that soil and see what's there. Right, now that we've got our spade square of soil, what we're going to do is we're just going to break this open to see what we have in the way of earthworms here. There's a good one. I think we've done pretty well there. And then once we've done that, we can just pop the soil back in the hole. Great, so now we've got our container of worms, so let's go see what we've got. Great, so now that we've got our worms back here, we can start getting into the fun part and looking to see what we've got. I suppose the first important thing to do is to get our data sheet and record the time and the place. And then we're ready to enter what we find in terms of the earthworms as well. So all this information is found on the website that you can access. It's got all the details, and what we're looking to do is to start by counting the earthworms, and then we're looking to see what types of earthworms we have. What we're wanting is to find at least 16 worms per spade square, which is equivalent to 400 per metre squared. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Right, so we've got over 16, so 21 there, and so that's great. Now we're looking to see the different types of worms, and so we've got a bit of an identification guide to see how we identify those different groups. And I suppose a really good place to start is these really big ones. They're our deep burrowing worms, so they're the first ones that we can tick off our list, that we've got the deep burrowing worms. We are looking for the adult worms with the saddles for the identification. These darker worms are our compost or our dung worms. They're usually also the ones that try to make a break for it. Then we've also got a tiger worm here with the yellow stripes, so we can tick off a tiger worm. And then we've got the topsoil worm, which is the most common one. The topsoil ones are the same colour at the head end all the way around. This is the yellowtail worm. Any guess as to why it's called the yellowtail? We can tick off those ones as well. And so what we are actually seeing is that we've actually got quite a good diversity of worms here in this soil. We can give this site a good score. Now that we have the data collected, don't forget to come onto the website earthworms.nz to enter your data and send that back to us for the Great Kiwi Earthworm Survey. It's simple. All you have to do is head to the website, click on the upload page, and then you can enter your information in terms of where you've collected the sample, the abundance of earthworms, and the different types of worms that you've found. Great, that's it guys. Hopefully you can see that it's as easy as that, and that you too can go out and have a dig to see what you've got living in your soil. So talk to your parents and your teachers to visit the website, get the resources you need, and have fun digging.